Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News, and we have a shocking finale to recap right now of The Bachelorette. It was all playing out to be a very, very dull season until about the last hour of the year. This is why you watch the show. Now, not at the demise of Jen. We hate to see her get crushed like this, but you watch the show because your jaws dropped as we were surprised with what came to be one of the more dramatic endings ever on the show. So we'll get into it all. I'm going to recap the show. I take notes. I read them back to you. No edits or jump cuts, just me and you. And if you want some more tea, all of the tea that came out last night and this morning, I will be discussing on the podcast, The Rush Hour with Dave Neal. I've got some of that right here. You can scan that QR code. It'll take you right to the podcast, and that's where a lot of the tea is. But I'm just going to discuss everything that happened on the episode. We'll get to some more videos after this. Make sure you're subscribed for all that. All right, well, we open with Jesse Palmer in the live audience. We have, again, it was calm waters, and I don't think even Jesse knew how dramatic it would get. Must be a long 3 hours to sit in that live audience. Did they feed the audience? Please, get them a Luna bar or something. Jen arrives to her family. Mom cries. Let's go through the photos that we have here. And everyone's emotional, adorable family. Nicole, Jen's friend, is there. Jen's brother wears a linen shirt. I see you, bro, looking pretty good. Nice style right there, right? Doing the thing. Devin is the first guy to meet the family. Jen says one guy says he loves me. The other guy hasn't said it yet. In hindsight, it's like, did anybody love anybody? What would happen here? And so that's the face of a guy who has no idea the amount of scrutiny he is about to face. The mom is skeptical of the show and of an engagement. Jen says she won't get engaged if it isn't right. And look, I get why moms are suspect of the show. They want to protect their kids. Moms and dads, you should not be happy if your kid's on the show unless, whatever, who knows? I've got a kid now. Will the show be around in 25 years? We'll see. I don't know. After an episode like last night, who knows? Jeremy and Jonathan joined Jesse Palmer at the live show to offer cryptic support of Jen. They said, we hear it's going to go sideways, so here to support. Little did Jeremy know he would be part of the story in one way or another, as Jen was calling out Devin. Again, we'll get into more of that in a minute. Devin speaks to Jen's family, says Jen keeps him grounded. Jen's brother and Devin have a pretty good chat. Devin asks for Jen's brother to give the blessing. He says not yet. Wants to talk to Marcus before offering his blessing. Devin appreciates the honesty and that he holds his sister in such high regards. Jen tells Devin to not get into his head and that she loves him. And then next, Marcus meets the family. So they just line them up, meet the family. Jen's brother wanted Marcus to open up more. It's like, dude, join the club. Like we all, Marcus, come on, get there. He needs ayahuasca or, I don't know, shrooms or something, edibles, Jack Daniels. I don't know, yoga. Just get out there, open your heart. I get it. He's guarded. He's got some issues. We all do. Jen's brother, when pressed, Marcus says he's not ready to propose, but he wants to get there. Says he's not in love. So I think this is wild. I don't know. Have we ever had a final two just be so unwilling to say it? I almost respect it. He's like, look, I know I'm in this situation. I know the ball's moving and I'm on a moving train and whatever, yada, 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 but I'm just not there. But by the way, clearly Marcus liked Jen because he starts to do the Jen face. Jen likes to do that thing. Michaela Maroney did it in the Olympics, that sort of discontent, pensive face. So Marcus is doing it now too. So Jen says she wants answers and isn't getting them. Then back to the live audience, Jesse asks how Jen's brother is doing, and boy, is he not happy. He said, honestly, at the moment, I'm not too happy. And I got to tell you, I felt him. I was like, oh my gosh. Like you can feel, when a family member doesn't just yell at you, but they say they're disappointed. It's like, oh boy, don't make Jen's brother disappointed. This is a nice guy. He's done nothing but good things. He's got all the authenticity and credibility in the world here. He's in it for the right reasons to support his sister, and he's not too happy. He's going to have to tell Devin and Marcus to knock it off. When pressed, Marcus says he's not. Okay, we got that. Back to the live audience. Jen and Devin throw rocks into the ocean as a way to release negative energy. Listen, I wish I could throw rocks into the ocean. I'd love to do that. Every time I get a bad review, I just take a rock and get out of there. So they had a nice symbolic moment there. Devin tells Jen that he is the most important thing, or that she is the most important thing in his life. And then we're at the scene with Jen pensive while she writes in her journal. I don't have a photo of that, but we always love that scene where somebody, whenever the lead is writing in her journal, that's when you know things are about to get real. She's penning in her journal on the bed. I use pencil, but whatever, do what you got to do. So we continue. Marcus, we already got that. Look, it's... Jen's sick of waiting for Marcus. That's really what it comes down to. It's been like a month or so. If this were the real world, we would think that Jen's nuts that Marcus isn't ready to talk, right? We would think that that's okay, but because it's a Bachelorette, we're like, come on, man, don't you want to love her? Don't you want to marry her forever? And he's like, look, I don't know her middle name yet. You know what I mean? Like, just give me a chance. So but I understand her point. You know, they're under extreme pressure to make sure this thing all works out. So then Jen knocks on Marcus's door, and here we have Jesse saying, you know, if you love her, go tell her you love her. And Marcus is like, yeah, that's the problem. I'm just not there yet. And Jesse's like, well, you better get there. You know, Jesse's clearly taking one for the production team here. He does a good job, though. So then Jen knocks on Marcus's door. We know this is going to go sideways, and sideways it does go. Marcus says he regrets not diving deeper. She says she feels like she tried and he wasn't excited for their future. Marcus says it's scary to him. Jen says she's sick of investing in others and it being taken for granted. Well, it ain't over for you, sister. More to that to come. Now, Marcus tells her that he loves her and wants to give it a try and not give up. He does the old Sam Hail Mary, right? Hey, as you're done with me, I love you. So I thought they were broken up by this point, and then Jen says they're done. So then it does officially end, and that's how it goes. Marcus joins Jesse live. Jesse says he found love too little, too late. That's how it goes, too little, too late. Marcus says painful truth was that he wasn't living up to what she needed. Jen arrives and looks nervous talking to Marcus. Yeah, this isn't a scenario where everyone looks hunky-dory. This is like Jen's keeping it together. She's got a beautiful dress on. She's like a sexy funeral attendant there. You know what I mean? She's got the black dress. LBD, yeah, you know me, doing her thing. Devin, so then we get to Devin. You know, all is riding on Devin. How funny was this scene where Devin walks in and we see Neal Lane and everyone starts cheering? Yay, it's Neal, our good leathery friend. And then, meanwhile, Jen decides to choose herself. She says she isn't going to let Devin propose, that she's going to propose. Now, we speculated that this would be the case. They kind of, if you watch the trailers back, she was like, I'm not going to let him propose. And, it's like, well, we understood what was happening. Devin chats with Neal Lane. Meanwhile, rather than share the proposal, they bring Jen out. So they bring Jen out after this moment. We know that this is basically where the whole season starts, right? Jesse says, buckle up, baby. And of course, listen, Jesse's a company man. We love Jesse. We love him, but he's doing what the show's asking him to do, which is fly a little close to the sun here. I don't know if it was too close to the sun, but it certainly was getting up in elevation as they wring the drama out of the cry rags that they bring to you. They must have cry rags, right? Get out the cry rags. We got a crier. And look, she has every right to. She's emotional. That's how the season should go. The inhumanity is what's about to come, right? So anyway, she explains it all. Says it's been a hard couple of months. Jen says he was throwing away promises he made, slowly pulling away. Night before a happy couple visit last month, he broke off the engagement. So breaks off the engagement before a happy couple visit. He didn't love her anymore and regretted getting engaged. As far as what she said, yikes. He refused couple counseling, she says. And then Jesse says he is shocked. Yeah, I think that's a big thing when it comes to like refusing the therapy. Not that it's good therapy. They do give you free therapy, but of course, when it's bought and paid for by the production, gosh knows it's skewed. It's probably like, here's therapy to stay together so that we can get the ratings high. It's like, no, I want to do the happy thing. But either way, they should have taken the therapy. Devin arrives to a light smattering of booze. He arrives to a light smattering of booze. Let me get a photo of Devin. There he is here. And yeah, you never like a good wag, a nice finger wag. That's an iconic photo, though. Frame that one. So he broke up, then followed Maria the next day. We find that out, and everyone's like, what? And again, I don't know. Some people got mad at Maria, but I don't know. I mean, what did Maria do? She didn't do anything here. He followed her. Devin says he failed Jen. She then calls him out for clubbing with Jeremy. Devin says this is different than the whole convo he wanted to have with her. And we're like, yeah, this is sideways. Sadly, Devin, in this situation, you don't get to dictate how the convo goes. Maybe next week when you go on another podcast, you will. But this is, as they say, the way the cookie crumbles. And by the way, Jen would make a great lawyer. She was like, please explain yourself. And he starts to, and she's like, nope. She's got that not in my house, that Dikembe Mutombo. If you understand the reference, you get it there, waving the finger at him. Devin says, we're both hurt. Let's focus on that. And then bizarrely, they show the footage of Jen proposing. And she said, I can't let you propose to me. And the interesting part was, and again, this is shot live. Jesse's like, all right, should we watch the show? Which, again, is a formality. When Jesse's like, all right, should we watch the final clip? You're supposed to be like, yeah, Jesse, roll the tape. And look, I don't blame Jen. She goes, do I have a choice? And at that moment, that's when it really goes sideways, because she clearly, listen, everyone has free will, right? If she wanted to walk off the set, she could have walked off the set. She watched it, but it was pretty crazy. And in the end, it was probably good for her brand. You hate to say it, but it's probably good for her brand that she watched it, because the whole world and the whole Bachelor Nation is siding with her. So she's losing her mind, because this was supposed to be a very happy moment, and it was for a short time. And of course, she proposes with some weird clamshell looking thing. And she goes like, I didn't know I was going to do this till today. All right, really? Then why'd you have the clamshell? Either way, why did they show the finale? That's what it comes down to. That is the cue the X-Files music, which I never have ready, but it's like, why did they air this finale? Is it because they needed to get the product placement in for Neal Lane? Maybe. I mean, in the end, it's like, all right, they do a People magazine, gets the first looks at whose the ring was and the carrots. Again, that's not a huge deal. Was the show caught flat-footed and not ready to have an extra 5 minutes of content? I mean, they could have talked about anything. Devin barely gave an answer, so they could have for sure talked to him longer. I don't have an answer. We discussed this for several hours last night on the live stream, and we still don't know. But we have a lot to talk about, including Jen made a statement. We have alumni making statements, what they have to say about this. So much more to talk about. Again, if you want all of the updates along with other pop culture news, go check out the podcast. You can scan the QR code or just type in Dave Neal anywhere you listen to podcasts, and you can get the twice daily entertainment news. I'll have more updates this afternoon as they come. Guys, this is one of those stories like Red Alert. We keep our notifications on for new updates, new statements, new apologies, new podcasts. There's going to be a lot to talk about, but this is where the channel thrives because we are on top of it all. Thank you guys so much for being here with me, and we'll have a lot more to talk about. So stay tuned. We'll be back right after this.